What? Hello, Patton Middle School.
Okay, good morning. Good morning, Patton Middle School. Welcome to our 2019-2020 Patton Middle School Student Council elections. As you can see on your screen right now, your vote counts. Okay, so we have some reminders this morning. I want you to take a good look at this, and I hope everybody's settled into HawkTV or to advisory right now. I'm going to give everybody a second, just make sure everybody's in and settled in, focused on the TVs. Okay, so a few reminders this morning. Very, very important. You have an awesome responsibility here in listening carefully to all of the candidates that are running for student council positions. You need to listen closely, and you need to vote honestly. This is very, very important. This is your school. You pick the leaders who represent your interest and your needs. And again, Patton executive board members who are running today must exude leadership, service, student voice, and school spirit. So it's your job now to listen carefully and to pick these candidates. So the first position this morning is the position of president. Now the president facilitates all meetings, cooperates with faculty, advisors, and administration, has a positive and enthusiastic attitude, and is a good role model. It's comfortable speaking in front of large groups of students and or adults. They represent the student body at school meetings, rallies, and other community events, and this is an 8th grade position. So today we have two candidates for president. We have Milo Bergauer and Tig Thomas. So at this time, we're going to hear from our first candidate for president, Milo Bergauer.
Hello, Patton Middle School. My name is Milo Bergauer, and I'm running for student council representative because I want to make school fun for all of you by trying to make events more fun than ever before, by bringing meetings and things you like. You can tell me what you want to add to an event, and I would think if it's good for others or if it is school appropriate, and I will make it into a real thing, because I believe lots of us have good ideas but are too shy to say them. So you might think, why vote for Milo? Well, the answer is because I know how to make people happy and I know how to help them.
Okay, that was our first candidate for president, Milo Bergauer. We are now going to hear in a moment from our second candidate for the office of president. That's going to be Tig Thomas. Here is the second candidate for president on your ballot, Tig Thomas.
Hello, my name is Tig Thomas, and I'm running for student council president. Last year was recording secretary and student council. If you don't know me, I'm an 8th grader and I'm involved in many extracurricular activities, music programs, and sports here at Patton. When I think of a good president, I think of a few different qualities. They are leadership, school spirit, and representing the students. And while I'm not here to tell you what I think you want to hear in my speech, I'm here to show you that as president, I will make school better and more enjoyable for everyone. First, I have great leadership skills. As recording secretary, I learned how to run meetings, how to lead a group, and how to make things happen for our school. I have public speaking skills, experience talking in front of crowds, and I know how to get my ideas across. I'm able to listen to others and represent students' and teachers' ideas for how I can help the school become a better place. Next, I believe that an important quality in any president is to have school spirit. If I didn't have school spirit, there's no doubt that I would not be up here trying to convince you to vote for me. I have pride in our school, and I have ideas for how to make school a more fun place for students, like making pep rallies and other events, things that students are genuinely excited to go to. I like our school, and I want to be able to take part in making decisions that benefit you and me as students. And last, I'm here to represent you as students. I know what you want because I'm a regular student myself. I want to be someone that every single person in this school is comfortable approaching and talking to about your concerns and how I can help make the school a better place. I want you to be able to say, "Hey Tig, I didn't like how this event was run, and I will work to change that." I want you to know that every Friday during clubs, I will address your issues and get them solved. I want you to be able to reach out to me and let me know how I can help our school become a better place. I'm not here to make any promises about things that I can't control, but what I can promise you is that I'm willing and able to help you as students of Patton to make your time at school more enjoyable. If you vote for me, I will take initiative, I will represent you as president. I will be a great leader, and I will make things happen. Thank you.
That was our second candidate for president, Tig Thomas. So again, at the end, when we have time to vote, those are your two candidates, Mila Berghauer and Tig Thomas. We are now going to move to the office of vice president, and we're going to hear from the candidates for this position. Now, the vice president acts in absence of the president. He coordinates and reports progress of committees to council, has a positive and enthusiastic attitude, and is a good role model. Collaborates well with others, is cooperative, and can delegate. Represent the student body at school meetings, rallies, and other community events. And again, this can be either a 7th or 8th grader for this position. We have 4 candidates for vice president today. We have Chase Minter, Anna Nam, ALLIE Roberts, and STELLA Tucker. We're going to hear from our first candidate for vice president, Chase Minter.
Hello, Patton students. My name is Chase Minter, and I seek your vote to become the vice president. I want to start off by asking, what do you want to see changed in this community? I ask this question because when have you voted on decisions that student council usually makes? So I desire a school where the student body has a say in vital decisions normally made only by a few peers you elect. I'll change this by giving you surveys to vote for events you want to see or things you enjoy. I realize that not everything student council enacts is beneficial or significant for all students. I also want to make more of an impact not just on our school but on other communities as well. Derry Hardy once said, "Giving to others is the greatest gift you can get." I plan on raising money to give to local charities and charities on a wider scale. I intend on doing this by creating numerous events over the course of the school year to raise money. I also advocate new school initiatives and programs like robotics club, running club, band, etc. I hope to expand this list in the next year. I'm currently a student ambassador and I ran for student council in 6th grade. With my experience and persistence, I promise to raise money and donate to multiple charities, give students more of a say in student council, and ensure that everyone has a great 2019-2020 school year.
That was our first candidate for vice president, Chase Minter. In a moment, we're going to hear from our second candidate for vice president, Nam.
Have you ever walked into a classroom not knowing there's a test that day? Or accidentally hopped on the wrong bus? Or worked on a project all night and forget to bring it to school? I have, all of the above. Hi everyone, my name is Anna Nam, and I asked you those questions because I know we all have our bad days. But when I look back at those embarrassing moments, I also see my friends, classmates, and teachers who are right there with me. I am running for vice president so that I can get to know even more people and be as involved as possible. Last year, I was 6A representative and got to see how the student council works. This year, I'm ready for more responsibility. As a 7th grader, I know that 6th graders may feel uncomfortable in this new environment. For my fellow 7th graders, aka the middle child of middle school, I want to make sure your voices are heard. And for the 8th graders, I want to help make your last year the best one yet. I love Patton, but we all know there is room for improvement. I want to make changes with you guys beside me. I promise I'll listen to what you have to say and work to make progress you want to see. I changed the quote from Avengers Endgame a little to match our purpose. 6 stones, teams. Amazing students and staff. One shot. Today we have a chance to make change happen. Know your teams, know your classmates. Look out for each other. This will be the year of our lives. Vote Anna Nam for Vice President.
That was our second candidate for Vice President, Anna Nam. We are now going to hear in a moment from our third candidate for Vice President, ALLIE.
Hello, Patton. Are you having a good year? I hope so. If you're not, I think I can help. My name is ALLIE Roberts, and I am in 7th grade here at Patton Middle School. I am part of many extracurricular activities such as chorus, vocal ensemble, HawkTV, and hopefully student council. I would love to be Patton's vice president to make this the best year yet. In this speech, I will prove to you why I would make our great school an even better place. I will also explain my ideas for this school. If I am vice president, I will change the school for the better, such as more Domino's pizza days for lunch, more school events, and more help from the student council. For Domino's Day, we can have our advisories collect money so our staff won't have to pay. This way, we can save money and have pizza days frequently, like once a month. We could also have bigger school events, such as more trips to fun places. For example, we could have an 8th grade beach field trip at the end of the year. We could set a goal for each 8th grade advisory to save a certain amount of money for the field trip, and we can start saving now to make sure that we reach our goal. Lastly, I would like the student council to help out our students. We could have students who want to talk to a peer about something come see us. Thank you all so much for supporting my ideas. Remember, if you vote ALLIE Roberts for vice president, I will guarantee you more pizza days, bigger school events, and more help and guidance from the student council. Thank you.
That was our third candidate for the office of Vice President, ALLIE Roberts. And now we're going to hear from our fourth candidate for the office of Vice President, STELLA Tucker.
I'm going to be honest. I had some trouble writing the speech that I'm giving you today, and so I debated back and forth with myself on how to start my intro. And finally, after many sleepless nights, I decided I should start with a simple hello. Hi, my name is STELLA Tucker. I'm in 7th grade, and I'm running for vice president. Here are a couple things about me in terms of activities. I'm currently on the cross-country team, and last year I was on the speech and debate as well as the knowledge bowl teams. I love candy and dogs, and I especially love traveling. I've been fortunate enough to travel to 42 countries across the planet, and by doing so, I've had the opportunity to meet others of all different cultures and backgrounds. John Quincy Adams, our 6th president, once said, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. and I would have great pleasure to be able to lead you guys. And because I feel you, the student body, are the heart of the school, I will not be mentioning any of my potential ideas. For the best ways to improve a school may not be the ones mentioned by the administrators, teachers, or even the student representatives, but the ones sought out by you, the students. And if I am chosen, I sincerely promise to listen to all the needs of the student body. School can be a challenge, both academically and socially, and as your possible vice president, I would love to do my part by listening to your ideas so school is just a little bit easier, and potentially, together, we can make it a better place for all of us. And so overall, I really love going to this school, not only for the great education, but for the fantastic people who make up this school. And even though this may be a competition, I truly feel everyone up here would be a great person for the job. And if I'm chosen, I sincerely promise to give every student a voice. And so based on John Quincy Adams' quote, together, let's inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more. Please vote Stella Tucker for Vice President, and thank you.
That's our fourth candidate for the office of Vice President, Stella Tucker. We're now going to move to the candidates for the position of treasurer. Now, the position of treasurer, they coordinate the preparation of an annual budget. They maintain all financial records and communicate those records to student council, coordinate fundraising projects, has a positive and enthusiastic attitude, is a good role model, and is organized. And this can be a 7th or 8th grader running for this position. So here are the candidates for the position of treasurer. You're going to hear from Charlie ALMEIDA, Ellie Day, and Ryan Lee. Our first candidate you're going to hear from is Charlie ALMEIDA.
Hi, my name is Charlie ALMEIDA. I'm in 7th grade and I'm running for treasurer. For as long as I can remember, I've had a burning desire and love for one thing beyond anything else, money. If you vote for me as treasurer, I'll put that passion to good use. Through fundraisers like athletic events and bake sales, I'll do what I do best, make money. Then I will use that money in smart ways to make Patton a better place. I will fund in-school activities and initiatives, after-school activities and initiatives, and I will even fund things that only happen when we are asleep. That is the type of dedication I'm talking about here. I will always be open to new ideas and want to work collaboratively with the students that I serve. That means you. So if you have any ideas, I'm all ears. In addition to my genuine love of money, I'm also reliable, honest, and trustworthy. As treasurer, you can count on me to work hard, give my best effort, and do the very best job I can do. So what exactly is my plan? My plan consists of 3 major ideas. My first plan is to have a seasonal bake sale. This bake sale will have various foods that go with the season we are currently in. For instance, we are in October now, so we would have a table set up somewhere convenient, such as the cafeteria, and then serve foods such as pumpkin spice cookies, caramel apples, pumpkin muffins, and much more. For winter, we would have gingerbread cookies, hot chocolate, and other winter-themed snacks. I will be open to any suggestions if you have them. My second idea is to have an after-school race around the school campus. To enter, all you need is a small fee. All students from 6th to 8th grade are welcome to join. There will be one winner from each grade and the grand winner. Each of the winners will receive a prize. Lastly, I would like to organize a 3v3 basketball tournament. This would be an after-school tournament in the Patton Gym where anyone can enter. These are just some of my ideas that will help accomplish my plan of making Patton a better place. To summarize my plan as treasurer, I am going to have fundraisers that won't only make more money for the school, but are very fun activities that are easy to enter and that bring the school together. If you vote for me as treasurer, I'll make sure you won't regret it. I very much look forward to hopefully serving on the Student Council of Patton, and I hope that I get your vote for treasurer. And remember, I will treasure your vote for treasurer.
That's our first candidate for treasurer, Charlie ALMEIDA. We're now going to hear from the second candidate for the position of treasurer. That'll be Ellie Day.
It's fair to say that I'm a much better middle schooler now than when I was in 6th grade. Last year, everything was shocking to me. The fact that you have to run a whole mile in gym, that you can actually get its attention, and that you have to wake up far earlier to catch the bus than is reasonable by any logical standard. However, the more that I think about it, the more that I realize that middle school can actually be a lot of fun. I, Ellie Day, am running for treasurer because I believe that I can help make middle school even more enjoyable than it already is. For example, what if Patton had more days for students to go outside and play games such as kickball and wall ball with their friends? Another idea would be to have a school spirit day where students who wear spirit wear have an opportunity to spin a wheel to win prizes such as Patton-themed bracelets, candies, etc. I believe that with the help of the council members, I would be able to contribute ideas to make Patton more memorable. As you may know, the treasurer is the person responsible for managing the school's money and finances. I believe I'm well suited for this job. I'm responsible, good at math, and comfortable managing a budget. Also, I'm willing to fight for what I believe in, a trait that my parents don't always appreciate, but will come in handy as a student council member. In the end, I hope you vote me, Ellie Day, for treasurer. With the help of the rest of the council, I am determined to make your experience at Patton Middle School more exciting. I know there are a lot of great candidates, but I would be honored if you gave me your vote. I promise I will work hard on your behalf to make Patton the best school it can be.
That was one of our candidates for treasurer, Ellie Day. Now to our next and final candidate. Our final candidate for the position of treasurer will be Ryan Lee.
Hello students and teachers, my name is Ryan Lee from Mr. Lewis's 7th grade advisory, and today I am here to be the treasurer for student council. This position is also an important job for the school. I am good at for this because I am good with money and math. I help at my mom's nail salon and I mostly work with the money that we get at the salon. I'm a hard worker and willing to help others in need, and I'll always lend a hand to people who need help. Now, let me tell you why you should vote for me. What I want to achieve is a healthy, good community, but there are ways in order to achieve this goal for everyone. First, I hope everyone is kind and nice to all others, and maybe even a thank you for doing a kind act for you. Second, I hope student council will make more events like dances, fairs, donations, etc. to help raise the fund. One event from my ideas is called Friendship Day. This idea of mine will help someone to make a new friend with someone you don't even know. So I hope you will show that you like my ideas by voting for me, Ryan Lee, and you'll see what the school will be by voting for me.
That was our candidate for treasurer, Ryan Lee. We'll now move on to the position of parliamentarian. So to explain what a parliamentarian does on student council, the parliamentarian helps meetings run smoothly, clearly, and with focus. Parliamentarian makes student council aware of parliamentary procedures, holds others accountable for running meetings according to proper etiquette, has a positive and enthusiastic attitude, and is a good role model. This position has to be an 8th grade position. 8th grade student, I should say. Here are your candidates for, oh, sorry, I apologize. So the parliamentarian candidates is everything I said. The candidate for parliamentarian is Darcy Tucker. Darcy, unfortunately, is ill today, can't be here, but she is running unopposed on your ballot. So when you get to the parliamentarian candidates, you will see Darcy Tucker. And she's not here today, so unfortunately we can't hear from her. But Darcy Tucker, parliamentarian candidate. So we're going to move on to our communications officer position. The communications officer position. Communications officers are responsible for communicating to the community, school, and staff. Organize publicity for meetings and events. They maintain all correspondences for student council to outside parties, including students, staff, project coordinators, and the community. represent the student body at meetings, rallies, and other student events, has a positive and enthusiastic attitude, is a good role model, is also has excellent communication skills, and is organized. And this could be either a 7th or 8th grader for this position. So here are the candidates you're going to hear from for communication officer: Cole Bork, Trevor Dunn, Lexi Gorman, Izzy Karach, Anand Shah, Amir Syed, and Elise Ujima. We're first going to hear from Cole Bork.
6th graders, you guys haven't had that experience yet, and it could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what the school does. I can make that, and if you vote me, I can make that opportunity better for you. And another reason you should vote for me is because I'm comfortable speaking in front of a crowd and many people. And for the final reason I think you should vote for me is that I'll listen to anybody and everybody's suggestions. I think that I'm the best candidate for the position, and I hope you'll vote for me. Thank you.
That was our first candidate for the position of communications officer, and that was Cole Bork. We now have our second candidate for the position of communications officer, Trevor Dunn. Okay, now here's Trevor Dunn.
Hello, my name is Trevor Dunn, and I'm an 8th grader here at Patton. This year, for Student Council, I'm running for Communications Officer. A few things that you should know about me are that I enjoy playing sports, such as baseball and basketball, and I enjoy hanging out with my friends. I work very hard to achieve good grades, succeed in sports, and become a better person. I believe that if I'm elected to the Student Council, it will make me an even more well-rounded person. I'm excited and interested in school politics this year because I want to make a difference at the school, and I would like to get to know more of you in the coming year. As communications officer, I'll be in charge of sharing ideas from the student body to the teachers. I'll also be in charge of connecting with the Patton community, sharing updates with the school newsletter and Patton social media. Trust is a big part of being the school communications officer. I will need the trust of the staff and teachers to post updates at faculty meetings, and from the students, I will need to be trusted to post about sports, awards, band performances, school plays, and other extracurricular activities. As a student athlete at Patton, I have learned the importance of teamwork. I have seen and showed pride for the school's academic and athletic attributes. As an 8th grader, I'm proud to be a leader and someone who is willing to help my classmates. I remember what it was like to be a little intimidated as a 6th grader and feeling stuck in the middle as a 7th grader. But we're all Patton Hawks, and I hope that you'll put your trust in me. Organization is another important part of being the school communicator. There will be many deadlines, meetings, and type of information to keep track of. In my years at Patton, I've learned to be organized with my schedules, classwork, and other extracurricular activities. Having structure and a reliable schedule has really made me a better student, and I think that this experience will really help me in the tasks of being communications officer. I currently have almost all A's in my classes, and while that is a result of hard work, being organized for studying, assignments, and homework is a big reason for my academic success. I really want to know what you, the student body, would like to see for events and pep rallies. If I'm elected communications officer, I will share that information with my teachers so that we all have input into these activities. I think it would be great to create a survey for the students to share their thoughts and ideas with the faculty. I believe that if we can communicate with each other, the students will feel like they are an even bigger part of the school. This inclusion leads to being more pride in being a Patton Hawk. In closing, I'm really excited about the opportunity to be your communications officer. I promise to be your voice to the teachers and staff, and you can all trust that you'll be kept up to date with all things. Please vote for me, Trevor Dunn, to get the job done. Thank you.
That was Trevor Dunn, candidate for communications officer. We're going to hear from our next candidate for communications officer. We're going to hear from our next candidate for communications officer, Lexi Gorman.
Hi, my name is Lexi Gorman, and I'm in 8th grade. I'm going to try and make this as short and sweet because I know no one wants to be here or listen to this. I'm running for communications officer. If you don't know what this is, communication officer is basically reaching out to our community via social media, posting about events, new rules, sports, and overall ideas what's happening in the school. My experience is helping my dad with his social media for his companies. A few goals I hope to succeed this year is display our school activities on social media, such as upcoming sports games, pep rallies, guest speakers, and way more. Another goal I hope to succeed is reach out to the community about the changes we are making about our school and or the changes we want to make, and if we need their help or for them to attend a meeting, and most importantly, to talk about to the district office and our student council about having more Chick-fil-A days and Domino days throughout the year. 7th and 8th graders already know how much we love Chick-fil-A Day and Pizza Days, but unfortunately we only had one for each last year. 6th grade, if you don't know what Chick-fil-A Day or Domino's Pizza Day is, they're basically days throughout the year when during lunch we have the option to buy pizza or chicken sandwiches for lunch. So you should vote for me for communications officer. I promise you won't regret it.
Here's our next candidate for communications officer, Izzy Kura.
Hello, Patton. My name is Isabel Kura, but I usually go by Izzy, and I am in 7th grade. I'm running for communications officer, and I want Patton to be the best school it can possibly be. If you all don't know what the communications officer's role is for, here's a brief description. The communications officer is responsible for communicating via newsletter, Patton social media, and website to the community, school, and staff, and if the student body has any major ideas, I will be your voice by communicating to the council. As a communications officer and acting as your voice, I will embody a positive and enthusiastic attitude and be a good role model for the school. In addition, one of the goals that I want to achieve is making sure that all students have a voice, and if they have an idea that could make our school great, then I want the student or students to communicate their idea to me. If you have any ideas, you can always email me, come up to me between classes, or come to my advisory, Mr. Lewis, and then you can explain your idea and I will report it to the council. The benefit of being your communications officer is that your voice will be heard one way or another. I could be the bridge to an easy communication of your voice that would be reported to the faculty and may turn into something great. In conclusion, your ideas are meant to be heard, and I will make sure that they are heard. I want to be elected for communications officer because I believe I can make Patton great and make everyone's ideas be heard. I promise that if you have an idea that could be presented to the council, just let me know via email or just talking to me and I will tell the council. One of our past presidents once said, "Change will not come if you wait for some other time or some other person or some other time. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the change that we seek." So I believe that we can change Patton in the most positive way possible with every single one of your voices. So Patton, I want you to vote for me because I'm the right choice, and vote for me and I'll be your voice.
That was our candidate for communications officer, Izzy Kurak. We're now going to hear from our next candidate for the position of communications officer, Anand Shah.
To 6th graders, remember the time in 5th grade you were at our spring carnival, but had no clue where half the rides were? And the time you had to search up what Power School was? Or for 7th and 8th graders, just remember the mixers. Yeah, you were probably thinking that somebody should have asked you for ideas. Imagine the same experiences with better communication. A helpful communication officer would help so many students, parents, and teachers. Good morning, Patton Middle School. With me, Anand Shah, as communication officer. You will be able to know what happens, you can help decide what happens, and most importantly, you will be able to trust what happens. I am running on a promise of transparency and student input. That means that you will get a say of what happens. After all, it's called student council. All the students should get a say, not just the elected ones. That means that the school wouldn't get anywhere in becoming fun, which is kind of counterproductive. I want to be a student council officer because I want to make Patton a better place for students to learn. But more importantly, I want Patton to feel like a home for each and every student. Everybody deserves a voice that'll actually speak for them, not a voice that'll stay blind to their constituents and only speak for themselves. I also do have experience on student council. Last year, I was a C-Team representative and was on the community outreach committee. And did I listen to C-Team? Just ask a member of C-Team from last year, and they'll tell you that I listened to them. The voice of the students is what I stand for. The students of Patton deserve a voice that speaks for them. I will deliver and promise to be that voice that we need. So just remember, information is priceless. Vote for Anand, and there are no surprises. Thank you.
Okay, that was our candidate for communications officer, Anand Shah. You're now going to hear from the next candidate for communications officer, Amir Syed.
Hi, Patton Middle School. My name is Amir Syed, and I want to be your student council communications officer. Whether you're an 8th grader, a 7th grader like me, or a 6th grader, you definitely have an idea that could help out the school. Think about it right now. Do you want something changed? If I'm elected, the system where your ideas as voters can be put into effect and will run efficiently and honestly. Your ideas that we use if I get elected. With my plan, we can provide the counseling, team leader, executive, and subject departments with ideas that most students agree are fun while also benefiting the learning environment for ourselves, teachers included. As a communications officer, I need multiple qualities. I need to be communicative, social with people of all ages, have leadership, and most importantly, I need to represent what you want. That's just another reason why my goal is perfect. It represents your ideas. My goal is to have Patton communication system where you can submit ideas at 100% strength. With your ideas, I can truly represent you, if you vote for me. I'm one of the few people that can say I've been in student council before. Last year, I pushed to fulfill teachers' grants, or the forms that they fill out when they're seeking money for new equipment. One thing that was key in me doing so was that I was part of many of the school's extended teams. One academic team needed expensive buzzer equipment. And most people thought that it wasn't a good idea, and they were nodding their heads no. Luckily, before we all voted, I stepped in and I told them about what the equipment was needed for and why it was so expensive. I turned the table single-handedly to get the grant approved. And my point is, I've been and I am part of various teams, making me perfect for informing the student council about topics themselves. This benefits you because of the funding your teams require. This is an amazing point for you to consider. It proves your judgment of who you think can best represent you. If you want someone with leadership, communication, humor, self-confidence, and discipline, I'm the best person to vote for. Remember this, my goal is to effectively use a student council communication system here at Patton to get your ideas to the table. The system that's put into place will thrive from contributions from voters like you. There's another benefit you get from voting Amir Syed for communications officer. Besides leadership and academics, being a communication officer requires, you guessed it, communication. A reason that communication comes in handy with me is that I can fulfill a need or transfer an idea quicker and more efficiently. My meme campaign posters and campaign strategies prove my willingness to put myself out there as someone who can best represent you. Obviously, these things can only happen if you vote for me. You may have seen my Marvel campaign posters with my face humorously edited into the page. Let me wrap up with my slogan, a quote from the OG Iron Man movie in 2008 by Tony Stark. It's an imperfect world, but it's the only one we got. But guess what? You know, it's all perfect when we vote Amir Syed for communications officer. Thanks.
That was Amir Syed, our position of communications officer. Our next candidate for the position of communications officer is Elise Uejima.
Hello, my name is Elise Uejima. I'm in 7th grade and I'm running for communications officer. When I was in 6th grade, new to middle school, to the idea of different classes, to everything, information about student council came out. It said that if you wanted to run for representative, you had to send an email to your social studies teacher. So I did, and soon I was in the running. But I got so scared about the idea of giving a speech and my fear came over me. The next thing I was doing was sending an email to my social studies teacher asking to take me off the list. This year, when information about student council came out, I knew I had to run and I couldn't be scared like I was last year. If I'm elected, I will help to make regular school things more fun. For example, student council can influence pep rallies and the games that happen during them more fun. Also, last year's student council organized the Chick-fil-A Day, which was a success. I hope to keep some of the ideas of past student councils. I will also try to organize more opportunities for students to give back to the community, like food and clothing drives, and try to add more fun days where you could spend the day outside. Also, we would be open to suggestions and would be happy to suggest any ideas that you would have at council. Student council would make me better at communicating and less shy. Also, I think that it would make me to be a better leader and less of a follower. For example, instead of agreeing with something someone said, I could speak up and say what I think. I hope to make school more exciting and have people look forward to events, not just worrying or thinking about a quiz or a test you might have. I know there are a lot of great candidates running, some of which I'm friends with. Whoever you decide to vote for, I know the student council will be in good hands. I would love to be a part of that with your support. So if you can, vote ALLIE Uejima for Communications Officer.
That was ALLIE Uejima, your candidate for Communications Officer. We will now hear from the candidates for the position of Secretary. Just so you know, the Secretary's responsibilities are to maintain meeting attendance, document meeting agendas, maintain records of minutes for each meeting and reports of each committee, to have excellent communication skills, and must have a positive and enthusiastic attitude and is a good role model. This can be either a 7th or 8th grader in this position. So here are the candidates for the position of Secretary: Arav Agarwal, Sophia Hines, Anthony Culp, Chase Musa, Isabella Wall, and Elena Zhang. Our first candidate for the position of Secretary is Arav Agarwal.
I am one of the many people here to make Patton a fun, cool, and great place. Good afternoon, fellow Patton middle schoolers. My name is Arav Agarwal from 7th grade. I am running for the highly prestigious position of the Charles F. Patton Middle School Student Council Executive Board Secretary. The job of secretary is to keep track of attendance, take notes on what happened that meeting, and take specific notes on the discussion topics. The benefits that I will bring to the council is that I will take all the notes and make sure every event that happens in the meeting is noted or recorded down. Some of the qualities that I have start with the fact that I rarely miss school, I take great notes, and I have a great attitude working in a group. I also pay attention to even the smallest of details. If I get elected, the biggest benefit that all of you will receive is that you can ask me what happened that meeting, and based on my awesome notes, I will inform you on that day's discussion topics. My goal for the role is to make sure that everything in the meeting runs smoothly, all the notes are taken well, and the attendance is turned in on time. In the start, I stated that I take great notes. This here is my planner. It has 99.99% of my homework assignments noted down. I make sure to do my best to take notes of what assignments I have and what tests I have coming up. Like I expressed in the beginning, I rarely miss school. Some of you in the audience are wondering why that would matter. It matters because people that are a part of the council should be in attendance for most of the meetings. Also, if I get elected, my job will be to keep track of attendance. And if I have to keep track of attendance, I should be there every meeting and also setting a good example for the others in the council. The traits that define me best are hardworking, kind, respectful, and honesty. I am a great listener, I pay attention to little details, and I'm organized. I also have a great attitude towards working in a team. These are true qualities I have. I'm not just saying these to gain your vote. To wrap everything up, I'm a great note taker, I barely miss school, I love working in and as a team, and I have a great attitude.
The benefit that you will receive in return for your vote for me will be great detailed notes that you can see upon a request. And I'm hoping that with your vote, I can start to help the school and community become the best it can be by making sure every single idea is noted down. I might not be the smartest kid in school. I might not be the most popular kid in school, but I know I am the best candidate for the Charles F. Patton Middle School Student Council Executive Board Secretary. Right now, I stand here not just as a candidate for the position of the Student Council Executive Board Secretary, but also as your friend. And one thing friends do is they trust each other to make the correct decision. And I trust all of you will make the correct decision. To make sure we're all on that same page, the correct decision would be to vote for me. Thank you all for being so cooperative. It was very helpful. Enjoy the rest of your day, and always remember, North, South, East, West, Arv is the very best. Elect the best. Elect me. Thank you.
That was our Agarwal, the position of secretary. Our next candidate for the position of secretary is Sophia Hines.
Hi, my name is Sophia Hines, and I'm running for secretary. If you didn't know already, the secretary documents meeting attendance and agendas. The secretary is basically the writer of the executive board. I'm good at note-taking, and I'm up for the job. Besides supporting the president and the VP of Patton, I've got some great ideas to improve your day. Here's one of them. Did you know that the high school has a free milkshake machine in their cafeteria? What if we have one of our own? If you vote for me as this year's secretary, I'll work hard to make improvements to our school. I will try to create more ideas to make school more fun. I could talk about my leadership skills and how I will be willing to work hard in the council, but I won't bore you. This is simply because all of the other candidates have similar qualities. However, I will be a great fit for the job because I am a good listener. I will not just hear your thoughts. I will take them in and suggest them to the council. As secretary, I will push to make your ideas turn into realities. Just know that if you vote for me as this year's secretary, I will prove that we can make changes for the best of all of us. I hope you'll choose me as your secretary for this year. Thank you.
That was candidate for secretary, Sophia Hines. We are now going to hear from our next candidate for secretary, Anthony Culp.
Hi, my name is Anthony Culp. I play hockey and lacrosse, and I'm from 8th grade. I'm hardworking, and I'm great at communicating with others. I've been in student council for the past 2 years as a representative for B&D team, and this year I'm running for secretary. I really feel like I've worked hard as a member for the past 2 years and want to keep that going as your choice for secretary. As part of my role, I've helped organize great activities like bake sales, Chick-fil-A Day, and Domino's Pizza Day. Part of the secretary's job is to keep track of what's been going on in student council and to get the student body involved. My goal as secretary is to represent your voice, have more fun activities during the week, and always make sure that your voice is heard. One goal I would like to complete as secretary is getting feedback from you about new and improved clubs each Friday. I've noticed that people aren't having lots of fun with the old clubs, so I think adding new clubs would be a positive. My overall goal is to make the school more fun for kids to be in on a regular basis because we are spending 7 hours here 5 days a week. Another big goal of mine would be to have more Chick-fil-A days and Domino's Pizza days. Realistically, I would want to have one each month or two. As you can see, my goals revolve around making the time we spend in school more fun for everyone. I hope you consider voting me as secretary this year. I promise to be open and available to everyone regardless of your grade. Vote for me, Anthony Culp, for secretary.
That was Anthony Culp, candidate for the position of secretary. We are now going to hear from our next candidate for the position of secretary, Chase Musaw.
Hi, my name is Chase Musaw. For those of you who don't know me, I'm in 7th grade, and I'm confident, courageous, and creative. I'm running to get your vote for the position of secretary. I want to help students have an equal voice in the school as everyone else has. I can be the person to help you speak up and have a louder voice for the things you want. I believe through my practicing skills, presenting skills, and participation in many activities, I can help everyone have a strong voice for what you want. In practice, whether it's wrestling, lacrosse, or football, I work hard, and I know that can help me work hard towards the thing the student body wants. My communication skills will help me bring all of your ideas to the student council in a clear, organized way. As a student body leader, I hope not only to be able to present your ideas to our fellow students, but also to our teachers, Mr. Dissinger, Ms. Nair, and our guidance counselors. Again, my name is Chase Musall. I'm running for secretary, and I want your voice to be heard. Just remember, your ideas are my ideas.
That was candidate for secretary, Chase Musall. We're now going to hear from our next candidate for secretary, Isabella Wall.
Hi, my name's Isabella Wall, and I am a 7th grade student here at Patton Middle School. I'm running for the position of secretary for student council. I'm here to improve this awesome school so it fits the body and mind of the students occupying it. Some reasons I would make a good secretary is because of my past leadership experiences, such as being an ambassador, and I've organized fun and safe programs throughout Pennsylvania. I want to help give ideas to help improve this school. One idea I have is a themed walkathon where students can pick the theme and we could walk for a cause. For example, we could all dress for Halloween or perhaps an 80s theme and walk to raise money for an organization in our community, like a pet rescue or even for the food cupboard. Another idea I have is we could do a trunk or treat with other students in the high school parking lot to create a fun and safe environment for trick-or-treating. Lastly, we could raise money to beautify Patton or redo the Patton Middle School sign outside the building that is rusted and doesn't give the best first impression of school. Raising money may seem a little boring, but I have a ton of ideas to make it fun. For example, we could do a candy cane bomb where candy canes can be purchased for $1 and can be attached to a friend's locker for a fun holiday surprise. Overall, I think my ideas of having a walkathon, trunk or treat, and raising money for beautification would greatly benefit this school. So to have a strong, independent student to help pave the way to your best year yet, don't forget to be a good fella and vote Isabella Wall for secretary.
That was Isabella Wall, candidate for secretary. We're now going to hear from our next candidate for secretary, Elena Zhang.
Hello, Patton Middle School. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Elena Zhang, an 8th grader at Patton, and I'm running for Student Council Secretary. I'm the best candidate for the role of secretary due to my exemplary organizational skills, as well as my persistence. These qualities make me best fitted for the secretary position. I believe I am the most suitable for the role because I am both a dedicated and organized student. I always take care in everything I do, whether it be at school or at home. This helps make me an honor roll student, and Patton would greatly benefit from these qualities I possess. If I was elected secretary, I would ensure that school functions are well planned out and aren't hectic or confusing. Furthermore, my organizational skills are well suited for the job of secretary. For example, as secretary, I would take my affinity for organization and direct that energy towards writing down minutes of each meeting and such. In other words, I would use my neatness and incorporate that into my secretarial obligations. In addition, English is one of my strong suits. As a result, I am an excellent note-taker and a strong writer, both of which are illustrated by my excellent grades in the subject. That would help me write committee reports and take good notes. That much being said, secretary is also a communicative role in the student council, and I believe I have the right skill set for the position because I am a part of the speech and debate team. Moreover, I promise to listen to you. If you have any questions regarding student council, I would be more than happy to help you. Furthermore, I am more than willing to voice your opinions if you just bring it up to me. I'll listen to you, take note of your ideas, and voice them to the council or give them to someone who can. I can't make empty promises that your ideas will be implemented, but I can promise that they will be heard if I am elected. If I was given the honor to be secretary, I would devote myself 100% to both Patton and to my obligations. It all comes down to 3 things I possess: devotion, persistence, and organization. I would be extremely thorough with all my student council duties and would listen to what you have to say. Being student council secretary is a privilege to me, and I would be honored if you voted Alina Zhang for your student council secretary. Thank you.
Okay, everybody. Just before we get to our next part, Mr. D would just like to jump in for 1 second, and here's Mr. D.
Good morning, Patton Middle School students. I am just so very, very proud of all of the candidates that gave their speeches today. And I just wanted to give a great big thank you to a few people. Number one, I want to thank Mr. Walsh and Mr. Marshall for helping with the technology aspect of the elections today, making sure that everything went smoothly in terms of the speeches being broadcast and also in terms of the balloting too. So a great big thank you to them. Number two, I want to give a huge thank you to Mrs. Wendy Landry and Mrs. Laurie Palak, our new student council advisors. They have put their heart and soul into these elections, and I believe that they're going to continue doing that throughout the year, committed to student council, and they have done an amazing job pulling all of this together. So thank you, Mrs. Landry, and thank you, Mrs. Palak. And thirdly, I want to give a great big thank you to each of the students that sat right here in this stool that I'm sitting in right now. It takes a special kind of courage to be able to create a speech, to be able to identify some goals and some visions, and to be able to sit in front of a camera live and communicate that to over 1,000 students and staff in a school. It takes a very special form of courage to be able to do that. And what I want all of you to hear, every student that gave a speech today and sat here on this stool, what I want you to hear very clearly is that regardless of what the outcome is, regardless of what the ballots determine, you are all winners because of what you did today. And I want you to hold your head up high throughout the day today and forever. And I want you to know that what you did today was a lesson for all of us, whether we are adults, 8th graders, 7th graders, or 6th graders, doesn't matter. You taught us a lesson today about not letting fear get in the way of doing something that you think is important. And you modeled that beautifully today. So thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. D. Okay, here we go, guys. This is the important part. Please now, on your Chromebook, check your email for the digital ballot. It'll actually be in the form of a Google form. So please make sure you check that right now. Very, very important. As we said earlier, your ballot is private. That means you should not be discussing results. This is just like a regular election. Just like mom and dad, we go to the polling place and we go into that polling area by ourselves to cast the ballot. So do not share who you're voting for. This is a private matter. It is up to you and only you who you vote for. Thank you for participating in the 2019-2020 Patton Student Council election. Leave that up there. Okay, and as we said, just give it a second. We're just sending that ballot out right now. You guys got plenty of time. Think about your candidates that you saw this morning. And again, most importantly, that this is a serious matter. You should really think carefully about what you heard, and that most importantly, that your ballot is private. Find a spot maybe in the room where you can get away from some classmates and don't have to discuss any of the the picks you make with anybody. And like I said, in regular elections and adult elections in our world, we make those ballot choices by ourselves. That's our own decision. So you do not share who you're voting for. And again, thank you for participating. It's all the students. It's an important responsibility that you undertake right now. And again, as Mr. D said, thank you to all the candidates for taking part. Thank you. While we are okay, guys. Again, the ballot is coming, so be patient. I do want to take a little time out and thank some of the HawkTV crew for making this happen. Mr. D thanked me, but I want to thank Arsh and Abigail, and I want to thank Hadley and Ethan, who are all here making this run smoothly. So the reason it worked so well today is these guys were here making it happen. Again, the voting is going to take place in just a moment. We're getting that email out to everybody. And once you get it, take that moment to consider carefully the candidates and to vote. Thanks to everybody.